I'll tell you, the only way I can find it decent is just YouTube, Winnebago County.
Trying to find it live. I can find the videos, but I can't find it live.
Yeah,
There's gotta be a better path that's right there, click here.
You know, I've
for the
noticed
live.
that
I
too.
subscribe to it,
Okay.
and they pop up, usually,
and it's always
Ask
the
him,
videos
he's
that
the
I
one.
watch.
Yeah.
Is there a better way to find the live stream live on our website?
Should be pretty easy to subscribe.
I struggled last week trying to find it. Yeah.
You subscribed though?
No, I didn't. All right, well,
That's
I'm
fine.
here.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
you're here.
subscribe,
Why
that's
do you
the
need to?
easiest way, otherwise it is really
or
hard.
sometimes you'd like to see the.
I had the same thing with my church.
Yeah.
Find there, I ended up just subscribing to like the more. But when you're subscribed, if you just go to the channel, it should be the first thing on top whenever it's live.
That's the way I had to find it.
Yeah.
And I couldn't. I think I was behind. So I couldn't get to the live part.
Oh, really? There should be a little live.
But then everything
bottom
was
bar.
Maybe if you were just here all the time, Karen.
Yeah.
Then you'd
Never
see it, you'd be live then.
Then you'd never miss. At
Yeah, I've
9
never
o'clock?
been able to find it live, I've
Sure
always
is.
had to go in and just
Right.
watch the video of it.
All right, let's say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consider for approval minutes of agenda.
Next agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Jensen, and seconded by Dean. All in favor, say aye. Discussion with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning,
Julie.
Julie.
How are you guys today?
Good. What do you have for
Good.
us?
I just have numbers today. We have doubled on the CDC website in real time. We are still at 21%. That was double from last week. The hospitals still are doing no elective surgeries, and there's 29 in the hospital, 2 in ICU, and 8 were admitted within the last 24 hours. Vaccine for the county, we're at 50.5%, and the state's at 59.2%. And I really don't have a whole lot. I have a call at 10 o'clock with my Iowa Health Association regarding the CMS and OSHA mandate status. So I will know more after 10.
So, Julie, do we have to, this is not really related to that, but do we need to be looking for a new Board of Health member, and should we
Oh,
talk about that?
yes. Yes, we do need to look for a new Board of Health member. I got a resignation from Stephanie Swenson, effective immediately, that she wants to step down from the board. She felt it was time.
So do we need to just come up with a list of
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
and how soon do we need to fill that position?
I'm waiting for the answer from my state consultant. Our next Board of Health meeting is the 21st.
If anybody's interested, there's applications on the Winnebago County website if they want to fill
Oh,
it in.
yep, that is true.
So I have a question about, does everyone on the Board of Health have like a background of health? Or what's kind of the criteria there?
What was that again, Susan?
What are we looking for in someone to serve on that board? A healthcare background or or?
She was a community support.
Okay.
So is it
She was a
necessary?
community member. What was that?
Is it necessary to have somebody with health background or?
No, I believe Stephanie was was like a community support member, like someone in the community.
And so does it have to be someone from Thompson or the Buffalo Center area or where?
Well, that area it is not representative right now. You're in Lake Mills, and then Sonia is the what do I want to? She was my liaison for the Scarville area, and then Sandy is the mental health, and then Dr. Osterkamp is our director. So,
So really just needs to be a community member then from.
yep.
Okay. All right, well, we'll try to come up with a list of people to ask or.
Is there a reverse gender balance here we have to consider about, because it's all women, and I don't know how that works, you know, we're supposed to have gender balance, but, yeah.
Those are questions I can take to my state consultant.
I think that would be.
This is new for me because every board member that I've had since I've worked here in 16 years I haven't had anybody resign, so this is a new step for me. So we will learn together.
Replace the doctor.
Okay, well, if you find out those answers, that'd be great.
Yep, I will shoot her an email right now, and then I will send it. I will forward it all to you guys.
Perfect. Thank you. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about, Julie?
Not that I can think of at this moment.
Okay. I think we're good then.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Showtime.
I still think the names that came up this morning
I
with
think
the,
that's, yeah, there's a couple of excellent ideas. Let's go to number 3, consider for approval reporter's quarterly report.
Here's my quarterly. This quarter is usually the biggest. Again, it was a busy December. I think as the legislature goes into action again, the reporters are going to try to up their fees. We have not had a fee increase in reporting fees since 1987.
What?
And every year they,
Inflation since then.
Unbelievable.
I know, every year they don't want us to increase it.
Fine for them.
And it's not necessarily the user groups that are fighting it, it's the legislature.
It's a legislature, yeah. And like for all the hunting and fishing that we do, you know, deer tag is $33, the county gets 50 cents. So,
Really? That's all?
that's it.
Wow.
So it's time for us to be a little.
So if there was an increase, would you get 75 cents? I mean, how would
be
it
nice if we could get at least
incrementally?
like a couple dollars at least. Send a lot of money to the state.
Isn't that something?
Should get at least a third of it.
So if you talk to your legislatures,
There's other fees involved, electronic fees and things like that, so it looks like you're paying a lot of fees, but it doesn't stay here.
no.
That's what
You
the
know,
law says.
Maybe you can tell that to every single person who comes in to pay that. I think it would be an eye opener to people. Yeah, we get to keep 50 cents of this.
Maybe just put it in the paper.
Interesting.
I'll make a motion to approve the reporter's quarterly report.
Motion by Derby and second by Johnson. We have a motion to approve the reporter's quarterly report. All in favor, say aye. Aye. I
do have another announcement I wanted to make this morning. I am not running for reelection this year, and I'll be done the end of the year.
You will be very missed. I bet that grandma time is coming
Yeah,
in there, isn't it?
yes. That will be fun.
Be nice to get all your grandchildren back with the,
Well, in about a year and a half, hopefully,
Yeah.
little closer.
you.
So, yeah, just wanted to let you know.
Well, I know the county has been really, really blessed by what you do in there.
I appreciate it. It's been fun, but in February now, it'll be 35 years for me in the courthouse. So
Wow.
it's a long time. It's kind of been my dream since I started so young to be done early.
Yeah. And that you are being done very early. Good for you.
I know.
Maybe we can retire at 40.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, you went further than I was.
In theory, beat that one.
Well, yeah, no, I was only gonna go 45, so.
All right, thanks you guys.
That's right down. Thank you.
Can we table the auditor's one?
Okay.
Number 5, consider for approval of sheriff's quarterly report. Good morning.
Morning.
Then we got that, budget thing.
Oh.
Just got that.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you say?
We're happy you shaved. Yesterday at his meeting, he had a, like, full beard.
I don't even want to scare anybody.
I figured he wasn't gonna shave, that's why I decided to do it.
Yeah,
I don't have it. Honestly, you erased it or something.
there's not a very current one.
I don't know about the beginning of summer, it's,
Yeah, I
Oh.
wouldn't, except they
Bro.
called.
The meeting yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't have one.
oh, really?
Nope.
She sent you something.
I looked back and I just happened to,
Because normally, if I forget to put it in my phone, the next meeting,
I would have missed it.
Then I remember to make a reminder for the meeting.
I would have missed it if she wouldn't have texted me 5 minutes before the meeting started.
Which year?
Actually, this was at the meeting, so.
Yes, you were there.
Occupancy out there.
Oh, yeah, I guess just a guesstimate. 12. Yeah. Historically, it seems like the courts slow down around Christmas time. We don't incarcerate people. COVID and whatnot. Yep, more stuff that goes back. So it's-
Did we have a motion?
Pretty sure.
One second.
Motion by John Sperry and second by Thurman. Motion to approve the sheriff's quarterly report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Does this need to be,
Oh, I didn't get a chance to see it. 7550,
pardon me,
extension 7530.
extension 7530?
Oh, Scott,
Oh, I didn't even look to the next one.
you're in charge now.
Man. Thanks, Scott. We're ready for you. Thank you.
Terry, can you do the meeting the 13th and the 18th. Do you have those dates open yet?
18th.
They don't have to do it small. Just that, they are, both days are supposed to be relatively
Problem is the budget has to be done by February 8th.
It looks like 13, 14, 17. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
17.
17th is the holiday.
So do you get back to the county conservation board, or you send out that?
I'll send out a mass email. Everybody.
So I don't need to necessarily respond to Robert then about that. You'll get it.
No, I'll do that after the meeting.
Who's disagree with this?
You bring the room to order every now and then. You don't do like Mike. So Mike, perhaps it's so hard.
No, that was Willard.
No,
No, it was
it was Wayne.
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 We let Wayne come in.
That's right.
He was here that day.
Wayne, I see the dent in the
I knew it was a Willard.
face. Yes. Wayne, let him wrap the ones in the honor of his brother.
Should have had him.
You know,
Should have had him put WW there.
yeah.
So Wayne must not be listening. He's still down. Not for sale.
Because I don't know.
He had for sale.
Oh, that's right, he did have a sales site. He did.
Yeah. Change his mind. Still out there.
Hey. Hey.
Hey there. Not too bad.
Morning, guys.
Morning, rearranged.
A little bit. Yeah.
Our yearly coup.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have for us?
For secondary roadways. Still stockpiling in Lake Mills, for the time being. Been lucky that I haven't had all much snows. Otherwise, nothing's really changed, I guess. Just hauling rock. Some guys were cleaning up some little tails on the shoulders of the road that got kind of blown out there last week. Just getting them cleaned off. It does snow on Friday, I guess.
Where you put that culvert in, just east of my home place? The sides of the roads are kind of, is that just how that looks for a while until it settles in? Or maybe they're in probably 18 inches on each side?
East of what place? Like
Of
here?
our home place, my home place.
The farm, just dead there. I have to go check it out, I guess. I can't think of it.
They're just kind of indented on each side. Does that
Oh,
have to be that way until they
settled in a little
grade
bit.
it for a while, or what happens?
Yeah, I think I'd have to go look at it, but I'm sure it just settled in around that pipe a little bit.
Yeah.
Might just need a
You might want to drive by and just look.
little touch up.
Have something for us, Scott?
I don't have anything.
You walked all the way
Well,
up.
I was-
You walked all the way up here, and
Yeah, I had a pretty nasty sinus infection last week, and I was out for New Year and some days on both sides. Pretty tough shape. So.
really,
Personally, didn't get a lot done,
yep.
but come out fine on the other end, I guess. Got two negative COVID tests too along the way.
Can you tell us how the baby is?
Baby's doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Whole family's doing good, I guess. 2, 3.
All right,
Yeah,
you don't have anything else for us?
yeah. I think so. I got budget numbers to Carla and stuff like that, so we'll be going over all that stuff pretty soon, I guess. A lot of work in on that already.
Did you send out an email on that piece of equipment? Oh, that come from Ethan?
On the semi for today?
Change the specs there.
Yep, I sent that out.
Okay. So everybody got it, so. All right. Well, there's nothing else there. 107, consider for approval resolution to purchase equipment for the secondary road department.
So this is the purchase of a new semi to replace our current semi. We'll be trading off the 05 Mac and buying a 22 Western Star. This truck pulls our low boy belly dump, side dump trailers. And we were just able to get our foot in the door to kind of get in the ordering ring, so we thought we'd take the opportunity. The price of the chassis is pretty similar to what we paid for the plow truck chassis. It's a little bit different, of course. It's got a fifth wheel plate. And, not all of it.
Where was that coming from again?
It's coming from Truck Center Companies now, which was Harrison's, Clear Lake. I guess they rebranded or combined companies or something. We used to we've got most of our chassis from Don's and Don's Truck Center in Fairbank, which is
Sister company of truck centers. They get their trucks through truck centers in Harrison's. It's just they get sent down to Fairbanks, and Don specializes in snowplow and dump box and stuff like that. So it's basically the same places where we've gotten the past ones.
yeah.
So is everybody aware of how that came about? I mean, as far as being able to.
Yeah, so it was like a person bought 2 trucks and through Harrison's and ended up passing away. So we got the shot at ordering one of them. One's already gone. That went to Suka. So they bought the other one, which it's a 4700 chassis, the same as what we have for our plow trucks. And that's all, we can only get a 47. We couldn't trade it or change it from 47 to 49 because that's what he ordered, but we can change the specs to what we want. So it's not like we're just getting what,
A leftover.
left over of what he built or something that's going to be all goofy that we'd have to change it. It'd be where we want the tanks, where we want stuff like that.
So if this wouldn't have come available, when would we have been able to even?
Maybe a couple of years.
That's really kind of the unknown. I thought, first question I had for him is if we just wait, will they call us in a month and say something similar? I just didn't know, so wouldn't even let you put your name on an order form to get one coming.
Are the prices like inflated as well?
Well, that's the other part is, this is a 47 SF, which is the same as what our dump trucks are now. And this is the last year of the 47 SFs. They're going to a 47X next year, which the price will go up because it's a different body style. They're making them lighter. They're changing a bunch of stuff up all the time. So. Yeah, I mean, they make them lighter to haul more is what they're trying to do, but we're not getting it for dump trucks.
Is the county under the same weight restrictions as any private hauler when it comes to the DOT?
Yeah. But it's the same equipment that we have now. We don't have a 336 or big stuff that we have to really worry about that. So.
We reason for not finding good used is the lack of availability and and that's where the overpricing is that good used is really, even on pickup seems to be
Yeah.
really high for some reason.
Yeah, used semis right now are really high priced. There was a 2016 out in Maine, I think it was, 180,000 miles on it. They're asking like 79,000 for it.
80,000 is pretty low for stuff.
Yeah. Prices are up, which is helpful for the trade-in value on the Max, so that's nice.
This 1,720,000 miles less than my truck has on this.
Yeah.
Whoa. So what is this? Do you have the paperwork on it? What is this gonna cost?
Mm-hmm. 124,000 is the sticker price on the truck and 30,000 on trade. So the net result is about 93,000 to upgrade.
My opinion is that Mac needs to go. Serve its purpose, it's got some issue with it.
Yeah, I didn't add up every single penny that thing's cost us in the life of it. But with the bigger value, services and breakdowns, it's roughly at $5.77 a mile. That's what it's cost us to run.
So this $175 for extended warranty, what does that cover? It's on the second page.
That's just the standard warranty.
It's on the second page. Say extended warranty, it's on the front. It's kind of cheap.
That's nice.
I have the impression that might be a difference between the last one and then this one, but I had the impression that we were at the standard warranty in there and we were going to talk about extended warranties kind of closer down the line once we knew when we're going to get it and stuff like that and be closer to paying for it. So I don't have an answer for that.
Something you wanna check on before we approve, or do we need to approve it anyway?
I think it's something we can approve today and then fine tune later. Usually the final invoice for the truck will vary by a few $100s depending on if we change anything at the last minute or have any kind of deal or added options.
I'd be happy to get somebody else to sell it.
Yeah.
That on all your equipment. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution to purchase equipment for the secondary road program, replacing the Mac with
I'll second.
Motion from Jeremy, seconded by Jensvold, to approve the resolution to purchase equipment for secondary road department.
This is on the next year's stuff.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. There we go.
I'll get an answer on that warranty stuff. Get your signature there. I guess I only have one copy. I'll send you.
Number 8, discussion with possible action regarding adding Martin Luther King Day to the secondary roads department.
So back when, the secondary road guys started their negotiations, they talked about adding this, separately, and, we actually thought that we'd be done with negotiations by now, but, the sheriff's union and the communications union have not given us a proposal, therefore we haven't met and done our thing. So, I talked to the secondary roads contract again, or the union the bargaining unit, and they asked if we could, add this to their contract since we hadn't had time to do the negotiations yet. Yeah, Mike said that this would be fine to go ahead and add this piece to their contract ahead of time, since we told them that we would get the contract done by now, and we didn't.
The rest of the county already asked me this.
The non-union.
I don't know if this be my time to interject on that. Like I said, the union stewards weren't able to be here today, but on behalf of our union people, I'm hoping you can maybe just do it consistent, do a blanket to include the rest of the sheriff's office employees that aren't included in Martin Luther King. So for all the county employees, it would be that added holiday.
Jumped right in there, didn't you?
I didn't know if that was a place or open forum, but
Right. So you.
I guess I'm just saddened that we have to have unions and bargaining groups, that we can't just negotiate face to face without representatives and stuff. It seems like they want all their bargaining power, but then in the middle of the contract, they want to add something. That's the part that bothers me. But again, we did add something this year.
Bill?
We don't get it. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of like Terry. I would just assume we might have to hire a $300 an hour HR lawyer to discuss stuff amongst everybody. Do it without unions. It's running off on. So for that and adding holidays, you know, how many more people are going to come up with it would be great history that you're going to have to add another holiday? Pretty soon.
You need to take holidays off and go cancel them.
Yeah.
When they start canceling things, holidays should be over.
Well, yeah, well, some of the holidays that we have are representing slave owners. You can cancel their monuments, you should cancel the holiday too, shouldn't you?
But that's not the idea.
Yeah.
I knew this might be the hill you want to die on, so keep going.
Oh, I
It's
got a
okay.
lot of hills.
It's all right.
Well, I guess I would support it as a olive branch offered out there when we start negotiations. If they're willing to work with us. We do care for them. We think everything needs to be fair. But I also want to make sure they understand that when we start negotiating.
So you'll make a motion that involves that?
motion to approve the blanket policy for all county employees, union and non-union, to be allowed the Martin Luther King Day holiday.
I'll second it.
On a motion, Derby, seconded by Jensvold, regarding adding Martin Luther King Day to the secondary roads contract
And
and
union.
other union. And we may as well just add in as an olive branch. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passed. Auditor's office will discuss strange matters. Do we have any today? Conference?
Can you conference, please?
7511.
Why don't you have the phone?
I can remember easier over here than myself.
Okay.
I went blank.
Hey, Chris, we're ready for you. Time? Ready.
Assume this is you guys.
Drainage. Next one. Yes, they have 292.
See?
Yes,
Did you look up the old code to see if that was?
time at 11? Yeah, I'm sure I did. I'm just heading up for court now, but yes.
Hey.
Close the chair for you if you want it.
The door won't move, she's gonna get around you. Have something for us today, Chris?
Yeah. Mr. Anderson over here in DD 92 would like to have a culvert taken out and extend the ditch. Oh,
General,
Just
oh,
regular.
sorry. I didn't bring the copy of the agenda, sorry. Fairwell County wants to get together soon to talk about the reclass between the two districts between their state and our state. So, just to let you know that that's gonna be coming.
Something in particular, or is that just general?
Just so we know in future what their portion would be, what our portion would be, and to get that straight. It's never been straight. When Willie was here, we tried to do it and could never get it together, and then, yeah, so now I've got a new gal who's the drainage manager, and it sounds like she wants to get it done, so.
What district is that again?
That, I believe, is one,
By rate, isn't it?
yeah, I talked to one of the commissioners,
yeah,
Ross area.
yeah. I believe it's one of two, I know.
That's all on this one.
It's been a long time.
So do we know when that's gonna happen?
No, I just got the email a few days ago, so I just,
That's 102.
is it one of two? As soon as I can get with her and figure out what we wanna do, and I think we'd already talked to, Rick Hopper on that a while back, because he had done, I can't recall, he classified one of
I think B and K had
B
worked
and
on
K,
that
okay,
when I started,
right, so it's been an ongoing,
when Andy was there.
yeah. So, I'll have to get my notes all back out. Just wanted you to know it was coming.
Can we move to 10, discussion with possible action, DD 92 petition?
Yes, Mr. Anderson would like to have a culvert taken out and then just extend the open ditch. In 2005, Jim Witt did a report, and Robert Schwartz believes that it just ended because nobody wanted to pay for it.
It's $57,000 or something like that?
Yes. So I am going off of that because I wasn't here then, but this report that is old, you can only use the report for 10 years. So Helgesons have done all the work so far in that district. I don't think it would be enough expense-wise that we would have to put it out for bid. DD 92 up.
It'd be
just
section
northwest
26, normal.
of Woodville.
So you're talking a culvert underneath a county road.
Well,
You know,
it's,
No.
it's like 300 feet of 48-inch RCP pipe.
We just replaced that pipe north of the shop there underneath the road. So that's what we replaced. It's just
So
a chunk of pipe that runs alongside the road. It's open ditch, runs through pipe, opens up, and then runs back underneath the road. Just north of the shop.
It's unusual for sure.
I was just gonna say, this sounds like something I've never seen before.
It's unusual.
And I don't know if you call this an improvement. I've been trying to figure it out, and I don't know.
Well, evidently, the
Yep.
pipe that is there must be good enough to handle the flow. So therefore, the ditch will just handle the same flow, so it's not improving.
You got the same ditch up and downstream that you'll have after the projects. I wouldn't think it'd be.
It doesn't seem like it would be an improvement
So
to me.
then, if we don't have to hire an engineer, I would recommend Helgeson to do the work because they've done.
Repair.
Yeah.
Do you have any records of what the engineer, well, it was Jim Witt?
Yeah, I
what
just
he
have his
proposed to do?
report.
I don't wanna get into a deal where, we got into a deal in Hancock County where the landowners, somebody signed a petition, and the landowners that had to pay knew nothing about it, till they had a $35,000 engineering job. I don't want that to happen.
Right, well, what I'd like you to do is give me an estimate so that I can send the letters to the landowners.
Yeah,
The petition is signed by numerous landowners. So it's not like they are not aware.
The old petition?
This is the new one that he just filled out. Yeah, this is all new. Jim recommended removal of the existing diameter tile and replace with an open ditch with a base of 10 foot and 2-to-1 slopes. Using an average depth of cut of 12.5 feet, the overall width of easement needed for the open ditch is 100 feet. This will allow 20 feet of access along both sides of the ditch for future repairs.
Is this anything that we're gonna have another engineer come and look at? That's what you're talking about, the surprise engineer.
I'm
charge.
surprised in that report, at that time, I remember it all very well. And, they had it in there that all the dirt had to be trucked away. Because of, maybe I shouldn't have even brought it up, no, it's not in there.
Well, it indicates 2-to-1 slopes, if you want to move 2-to-1 slopes.
No, I mean,
On one side.
we probably need more than, I would think Mr. Swartz at that time put up a stink about piling the dirt on the trains is his property.
So this is the one that's parallel to the road then?
Right, right.
And that is policy with federal ground and state ground that you can't leave spoils behind, right? I mean,
I don't know
that's
about
what
that.
I've run into before, is that they don't want you to leave the spoils.
Well, no, that's with case by case, I would say.
Okay.
The grass will grow on the top.
Yeah. And I don't know if he's worried about a parking lot. He can have a parking lot north of the crossing you did, they own that too, so.
Or
And he
also,
talked to you, Gordy, so what did he say? Did Robert have any
he
objections?
didn't say anything to me about any objections. He didn't say anything about removal of dirt. He just said that he had on file everything from '05.
Yeah, because that's where I got the,
Yep.
so back at that time, did he
He
have
never-
that ground too?
Huh?
He had that ground back then too?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But maybe it was about that letters weren't sent out or something at that time.
Well, and
If that's a,
Jim Witt recommended a public hearing.
oh,
Yeah, then, but the estimate was so high, they bounced it out of there.
Right, Right, so then it just, you never went anywhere, I'm assuming a remonstrance happened, but then that makes me believe that it is an improvement. Otherwise, why would it have a remonstrance and not go anywhere? If it's just a repair, it shouldn't matter.
There's the existing culvert there now, hindering the flow. So,
Constantly getting blockage by sticks and tree limbs coming down the ditch.
So because of those sticks and trees, it's still not covered.
So there was an
So you
actual
guys put a
remonstrance
60 inch
then?
I don't know that answer, I only have what I got from Robert, and that was just the engineer report and a picture of
And
it.
he sent that, I got that too.
Yes, so that's all I have. I could look in the file, I did
60
not.
in there now underneath
No,
the, so 60 from the open ditch to the
48.
And both sides of that, the tiles have fell in. And I think Helgeson's have cleaned it twice at least that I know of this year.
Mark did it once here, 2-3 years ago. Get one out and it fell in.
So, there has to be done.
Robert in his email that he sent to both of us, starting his minutes, the petition was withdrawn due to the high estimated cost. So maybe they didn't have a remonstrance, they just didn't want to submit.
And I
Because how
think
many
in the
people
end,
were
that
involved?
estimate got to be $90,000 to $100,000. I'm surprised it's at that. 50-something.
That's just what it says.
And I don't doubt you, but it'd be out of all. Well, but that was kind of in the engineer's estimate at that time too, so I'm
He's
surprised.
got excavation of $37,500.
That's, yeah, that's pretty easy.
No. So I just would like your recommendation on what you think is this an improvement, do we have to get an engineer? Can we call it a repair?
Is this a right away or halfway right away?
I'm not sure.
No, I think it's totally out of, beyond the line.
Kind of angled
It's-
away.
it's the pipe snakes, but the new ditch would be, I don't know.
That was the question too.
That would be a
Could they
difference if
straighten
you
it?
dig the ditch where the pipe laid, or get it straight along there.
But we
Especially
didn't
with the angle
call,
of pipe
well, but that was a
houses.
private deal. I was thinking like John Oxnall when he took out the ditch and put in pipe. It wasn't an improvement, but he was gonna take care of it. Well, this isn't the same type of deal, because we still want the district to take care of it.
Scott, you look like you have something to say.
It seems like there's enough questions where you'd want kind of a firm plan before you start. That's coming from an engineer's perspective, but I know what you mean. You hate to spend more in consulting costs than you do to a contractor. Then you have some right of way maybe to secure here too, which you need have some engineering drawings for.
More than you already have.
Well, you know, the original plans maybe call out right away. I'm not sure how that is, but usually if you were to, if you take a pipe out and make an open ditch, that changes the use of the land for sure. So you want the landowners to kind of agree to that, I guess.
I've been leaning more towards the improvement side. But we can-
The original petition in 2005 is for an improvement. And it says, remove existing 48-inch tile and replace with an open ditch. So, I mean,
So it was an
it says
improvement
improvement in 2005.
And Jim would have known the difference. So if he called it an improvement, then I feel like it should be.
It's just a weak link in the chain. And why would you have it better on both ends and not, how can you call something in the middle? Because it's not passed yet on either end. So therefore,
Can you save money by straightening it out? By not taking the pipe out,
I don't know, but the thing too I'm thinking is that you gotta throw all the dirt one way. It's a lot of dirt on one side of the bank. I'm thinking of what the ditch used to be, if throw half one way, half the other way. Here you do not have a lot of room. Once you start pushing it way out 200 feet instead of 100. That is county-owned land, right? County conservation
But
owns
it
it.
depended on how it was bought. If it was federal dollars and had restrictions involved, it's usually his way of explaining that he can't do certain things because of the federal restrictions on the money.
Yep. Because the federal has those restrictions of
So is there
removing.
anything recorded here on the owners of previous owners, if they gave that land to the county? Is that recorded here?
In the
As I
recorder's
believe, I
office.
can't remember the name of the person that owned it back in the days, I was reading it last night. And that would have been back in the 60s or so that owned it.
Molson Tweed.
It'd be west of the Tweeds. And whether they donated that land to the county, I don't know. It could be a possibility that that land was donated to the county.
Let's see, back then they regraded the blacktop. and
Because
that's
that is
used
where the
to follow.
previous road
You know
was.
where the
There could
bridge
be
is,
quite a few
it's
different
way
things that
over
happen
there,
there.
so
Yeah, that's
You got,
right.
Chris, you got your cut off to figure all this out.
I feel like an engineer would be great.
Well, we'd rather pay you than somebody else.
No.
Because if you look at it now, the old bridge is still there,
Yeah.
where the road.
Yes.
You can see. So is this something we need to table and do some more research on so that we can make a good decision on this?
Or the engineer just handled it.
How much engineering would there be to engineer?
See that, I feel like the
450
engineering cost shouldn't be a lot, especially when they have this report. I feel like it shouldn't be huge, and if
Hardly
the,
a couple thousand.
and if the,
Well, I hear stories that people from Fort Dodge get $3,000 just to drive the garden. That engineer, yes.
Yes.
so, and I also think that it wouldn't be past the construction threshold where we have to send it out for bid.
Even
It
with
would
an
be-
engineer?
I don't think so.
He'd be able to tell you a better number.
You know, and that way we can have the public hearing as an information hearing. Or the engineer's report, if they wanted to do a reference, they could. Do all that, the landowners know, and follow the proper procedure.
You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. I mean, we want, it probably some of it gets in trouble.
Right.
And as an improvement, then you might wanna try and go for straight. Because you're just gonna dig out the other culvert. Keep that, not as much.
Well, that's not an issue to get the hard line of where the pipeline is.
I don't think so.
Really
Replace
place
it with dirt too.
Huh?
If you're gonna take out the other pipe,
You could dump some on both sides till you get up to where that parking lot is, because then you run down the highway. But the dirt can sure be hauled away, but it costs a lot of money. So I don't know if they have an estimated cubic yard.
7,500 cubic yards.
What would that cost? To haul away that kind of,
Depends on where they're going.
that's
Not that dirt.
If you guys would haul it as well, then you.
1,700 cubic yards.
7,500.
7,500. 750 truckloads.
But with all the property that's there and is cropped, through the DNR, isn't it able to push that dirt out into that field? And, maybe even make a parking lot to the south entrance of that county land for their parking lot?
Yeah, you don't wanna put another pipe in for a parking lot.
Right.
When you're carrying these out, so you think, I believe they own property north of your crossing, you did that somewhere. Well, maybe
Along
not.
the Brian Sternberg,
What did we buy it? Maybe
40 acres.
that could be, he could be there.
What's he's got
Or
for
they
sale?
could build a
Who's this
parking lot
at,
up on
Gordy?
the gravel road.
Gordy, who is that? Who owns that?
Brian Sternberg bought that 40 to the north of this. It's listed, he's got it for sale again. He bought that 40 and he bought a 40 south of town from Ronnie Lightfoot. But there's plenty of area that belongs to the conservation or the county, but that dirt could be spread right there, moved it, pushed over, make a decent parking lot for these hunters that the county only gets 50 cents a permit or tag. If they raise that, they could pay for the part of the parking project.
So the parking's in the center of this portion.
It's about 50 feet south of the south end. Or I'm sorry,
North end.
north of the south end.
So it's
Okay,
in the
pipe.
horseshoe.
Yeah. Right at the point of the woods, yeah.
Because it actually, on the county map, it actually identifies two parcels, the one inside the horseshoe and the one outside.
But it's both county.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder, one is allowed to park and the others aren't.
That could be, I don't know.
Much like,
Do they take
nature
that?
center proposal, there's only a certain part of that that can be utilized to have traffic. Otherwise, the rest of it's allowed.
But everything that's marked different is the ditch that goes through there. Yeah, that's why it's used on each side. But when this ditch was put in, all that farmland in that area was all pasture. When my father-in-law's dad, when they put that ditch in, they offered him $500 or a driveway, and he took the $500. So Mylan has always told me that had been in pasture ground, and I'm assuming a lot of that ground back in there was pasture land when that ditch was put in. And now it's all farmable ground, and pipes are underwater, and that's just a few of the names that I got to petition this, and everybody in that area would agree to have this done.
It looks like to me the biggest restriction would be the county conservation restrictions.
I think in 1970, I was told that L.J. Valdal agreed to dig it for $10,000, and they went to it. And 2005, and we need something to get done with this. It's not just conservation in Winnebago County, it's farm, it's rural community, and we need to take care of the guys that are paying the property taxes on this.
Can you pass the petition around so I can see that?
And the other names are on the back.
And the owner of the entities, yeah, the taxpayer should pay for that. All the land that they buy is going to be taxpayers one way or another.
Oh, yeah. But it seems like they hold us up with a lot of things, and I think Iowa Code 468 reads that you can't hold up any obstructions in waterways, and that's what's happening on this county property.
Is it possible for you to meet with maybe Chris and Robert and go over this?
Yep.
I think that'd be a start, see what's possible.
You could try calling him on the phone.
Or see if he wants to.
Do you as a board have any control over this county conservation?
Well, this budget.
But we have to allow them to make money. can't curtail a whole lot of extra protection.
But you can't override a decision that they make or anything.
Well, if they were going to follow that property.
But they're gonna try to do it on the board.
Who's
What'd
on
you
the
say, Carla?
conservation board?
Yeah, they approved the board.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
I said they approved the board.
But there's also, like I say, there's a lot of names I could have went farther to get that they want stuff done. They want something done. with this.
Well, if you go down for somebody, it's constantly, I was there's even their culvert through the gravel road probably needs to be replaced.
We can see Robert often watches these. Robert, are you on the line today?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any comments?
Well, I discussed it with my board yesterday morning, and just to let them know that there possibly was a petition coming forward after I talked to Gordy and to Chris, and I said, I'll just keep you informed. There was really no conversation about it other than I let them know that in 2005 a petition had been brought forward, and then according to what the information I had in the file, it had been dropped because of the high cost. And back in 2005, there was some conversation about, putting a culvert in to give us access to that parking lot, or I don't know that we actually talked about moving it. I don't recall that. It could have been. It is pretty narrow between the bottom at the base of that hill. That's part of the Hog's Back, and there's barely, I don't think there's 100 feet from the road right-of-way to the base of the hill, which is the east side of that parking lot. And I think in Jim's report, it said something about having a 100-foot easement. I don't have it right in front of me at this moment, but
Yeah, it did.
and then I heard somebody bring up too the idea that all of the spoil would have to go on the south side. That would create quite a berm there. I don't know if we would be able to spread that out on the area or not. And I did look in the file, and it was acquired in about 1981, and there was some state funding included, and I haven't researched that enough to see what kind of restrictions, if there would be. I do know that, when we've acquired land, when the county's acquired land, with funding from the state, we can't sell that or give it up. It has to be used for wildlife habitat and other compatible uses. Not to say that they can't maintain an existing ditch. I mean, this is a little different. It's a culvert that's going to be replaced with an open ditch. But my board really didn't weigh in on it as far as, any opposition or support of it, because I told them, I said, the petition is probably going to come forward, and I would just keep them informed. And so that was really all the conversation we had about it.
Well, if the drainage structure was there before the county acquired it with state funds, I would think we've got precedence on maintaining the water structure.
And aren't the culverts under the road, are they 60-inch? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it, okay. Yeah, I understand these culverts are supposedly 48 inches.
The one to the south of that, Robert, is only probably a 42 or 48.
You mean under the road?
Under the gravel road to the south. Under the blacktop to the north, that's the one the county just put in is 60 inch.
Okay.
Right?
And then how about the culverts that are further south there that come under the road? That's a pretty big drainage area. I mean, there's another culvert, a half mile or so down there. Is that a 60 or is that a 48 or?
That's on the corner of Milford Elvis and Farm. I think that's just the 48.
I mean, that's got to be restricting flow as well then, if it's the same size as what we've got, I guess, but.
Correct. That needs to be replaced
It's
too.
rusted out, but it's all down. And the feet, so it's time.
I don't think you can see it on that aerial, but the road used to be further to the east there. there was a concrete bridge, kind of in line where that culvert goes under the road.
Yeah, we talked about that, Robert.
Yeah, there's some remnant there of it, but
What was the bridge?
There used to be a road
Used to be the old.
I think the road was further to that side, to the east.
east.
But the bridge was coming from the east, right? Or wasn't there cut out there or something on the east side?
Yeah, north of the ridge,
Yeah.
more in line with what they're doing.
He'll use some of
Yeah, I think the old road was, I mean, they shaved off on the west side of that to build the new blacktop. So there was a real narrow little valley where their point of their was to, I don't know, when you get back, I know you created that, you cut that really out.
So would you be able to spread that, dirt out into that area without creating a bridge or not?
Like I said,
Are you, I'm sorry, Susan, are you asking me or are you asking one of the guys?
I'm asking one of the guys here, just
Okay.
wondering if it's even
Well,
possible.
it depends on
Yep.
if you dig it 10 feet from the highway right away, or there you dig it where the existing pipe is. If you dug it where the existing pipe, for the most part, you could throw dirt both ways. So,
Yeah, that's what you were saying earlier, if you could
Yeah.
get rid of it on both sides, you could find a place for it.
How far you gotta haul it, I mean, you're talking $50,000 to haul
Well,
dirt.
that's the problem. And I don't know that it would be that.
Has anybody estimated the volume of, or the quantity of dirt that would have to come out of it?
7,500 cubic yards.
That's what was on
Engineer's
Witt's
estimate
report.
10 years ago or whatever.
Oh, I see, okay.
So, just from that, we were estimating, what did he say? Scott, what did you say, that 7,500?
750 loads,
Yeah, 700,
roughly.
Roughly at 10 yards a truck load, I mean, you can probably get one side dump. A lot
Yeah.
of trips.
that's a lot of trips.
You'd have to have several trucks in line to keep the backhoe moving too. So you'd be going up and hurrying every time making their round.
Yeah, it depends on how far you're going.
Yeah, I mean, if you're only going a little ways, then it isn't so bad, but if you've gotta haul it 10 miles,
So this is
You know, the ground to the north there is, especially right across the fence, is pretty much peaty over in there. I don't know if Sternberg would be receptive to having spoilage put on his ground or not, but.
Are you objective to spreading it on the county conservation property?
Well, my conservation board needs to weigh in on it, and I'll check on, with the wildlife habitat stamp funding that was used to acquire it. I just want to make sure that we're not going to violate anything if my board would decide they want to go that route. You know, it's a possibility that the parking lot could be moved around to the south or the southeast corner. To the north really doesn't work so well. You're getting closer to the base of that hill, and it's kind of it probably wouldn't be the preferred location for it, but.
Well, if you had a decent parking lot, Robert, to the southeast, you wouldn't have to worry about anybody trying to cross that ditch.
Yeah, I mean that would be, yeah, if that's what the conservation board would want to do. But yeah, that's obviously, it could be an option.
Where a lot of that dirt then could be used to make a nice parking lot for you guys.
Well, the ground around the corner there to the southeast, things are a lot firmer over there. To the north of our parking lot, or excuse me, to the south, on the south side of that hill, that's peaty there along the ditch anyway.
Yeah.
Right
Low,
at that intersection,
pretty low
or at that stop sign.
Southeast corner, so you would want to build it up some.
But I don't think the district would like to put another culvert in the ditch that we're gonna dig out and spend $1 grand or whatever on it.
for a pipe.
for a pipe. We'd rather have you access to the south, or I don't know where the property line is to the north of that bridge.
There's an old fence line in there, I believe, where the line is.
Yeah.
It lines up just to the north side of that driveway on the west side of the road there. That I believe it goes
Onto the juvenile.
kind of in a straight line east to west there.
So you've got quite an area there to the north too. But then you gotta cross the ditch to get to that area if you were to use for a parking lot.
Well, we actually own land north of the culvert, so I mean there is access. They're not to where you can park, but you can get foot access in there.
Okay.
And then we also provide access to the cooperator there that farms that little piece on the south side of the ridge there.
Correct, yeah.
So we conclude this is probably an improvement if we were gonna try and do it.
I think
I
that
think
we've determined that we need an engineer for this.
And to coordinate with Robert. And
Boy, I think our wish is this, that you can find out what an engineer is gonna charge us for all this, because we don't wanna get stuck with a $30,000 engineering project. And it can happen, I'll guarantee you.
I can check with a couple different engineers, just kind of get the basics and see what they would charge.
Since you do have some information.
Right. That's why I thought it wouldn't cost.
Yeah, you've got all the base
You can
stuff
tell
right
what
there.
the linear footage of the pipe is that needs to be pulled out.
Oh, yeah, because I can forward this whole report.
Did Jim ever create a map or a profile of this that you know of?
Not that I have. And I have all of his old files.
It wouldn't be in the county ditch 92 file.
I can look.
Robert, do you have any more?
No, Susan, what I have is what you guys have. What Jim had, that engineer's report from Jim. There was a list of the names of the people in the Drainage District 92. There's quite a few names on that. I've got a copy of the drainage petition, and then in March of 2005 is when I informed the board that the project had been pulled because of the high cost, and the drainage district didn't want to go forward with it. My board didn't really take any action on it. They didn't have to because, and I mean, we had conversations with everybody about it, but we didn't. They just let the process run its course, and then at the end it was decided to pull it.
So you guys never really discussed whether to go forward with it if it came to that? No, back in '05?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah, Robert.
No, it just because it got dropped. I do see here I've got some numbers on replacing the parking lot. It was fairly minimal, but I don't remember if there was discussion. I have to look further. If there was talk about putting a culvert across there, I don't see anything right in front of me, but I can look. Yeah, I don't see anything right offhand. I can look a little deeper, but yeah. So no, there really wasn't a lot of conversation about it because it didn't go forward.
Maybe.
And it looks like it went on for about maybe 6 months or so from the time it started until it ended. Well, yeah, October here is Jim's report, and it was sometime after that it got dropped.
Maybe.
Looks like the petition was in March of 2005. So.
Robert, maybe what we could do is have a smaller group meet on this and see what once Chris finds out some information on what some engineering could possibly.
Yeah, no,
cost,
that sounds good.
You and we can get together on it and just see where we're at.
Sure, sounds good.
Sure. Is there any other comments on this for now, and then we'll have Chris get more information for us?
Because you probably want to find out if that dirt needs to be hauled away too, or if it can be
And that would be,
spread out. I mean, that's a big dollar amount that you'd want to know
Yeah.
before you even get into anything.
and that would be a Robert thing
If
too,
it can
so
be, if it can benefit a new parking lot, it's all.
maybe we can make something good happen.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah, no problem, yeah.
Any other discussion on this? No action?
Well, I guess somebody's gonna have to decide if you don't hire an engineer, if you're gonna put the ditch exactly where the pipe may, or change the route, put the pipe along the road right away.
If the engineer's report is already there, is that something that's beyond what you would want to know?
His report's very brief, it just kind of outlines the
And you
scope.
can't use it. I mean, it's
What happens you
after 10 years.
base yourself on?
Sure, I mean, it might help kickstart the new report. I mean, it doesn't have near all the information that we need to know what the project looks like.
I think it'd almost be nice to know, what can be done there before the engineers look at this and say, this is what it
Yeah, so maybe some work
Absolutely.
with Robert's group before,
costs. Yeah.
I think if Robert, you could get us some information, I think that's the place to start.
Yep, and I'll start that process. I'll start asking the questions.
And get back to Chris on that, so that we'll
Yep.
all have a.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. All right,
Keep it moving.
I think we're gonna move on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Open forum.
Open forum, just a second. Chris, I'm bad with ditches that we do, that the ditch that we're cleaning and have cleaned except the upper end. On what number is that ditch with Nelson's Highway, which on the Christensen Farm.
I'm so big.
So it's
Right now I can't think of it.
we can't either.
So where's that? Yeah, through Ron Pennington. Is that not
Well, it's
west of
up
that?
by Mike Sprecker's property.
There's a
DD
map
one
right
lat
behind
two.
That's lat 2.
Is it?
Okay.
Lat 2.
Well, that parallels your road
Oh, that's,
Arrow.
on the upper end. It's right, you have no road ditch there. For close to 2,000 feet.
Just south of Harbor Lake.
No. Well, yeah, it is south of Harmony.
Right here, where you talking?
Just,
Yeah.
it's on the east side of where Sprecker's.
is that the one where you guys needed to lower the culvert?
It's our 50, remember the culvert that's too high?
Yeah, okay, but then the lateral that goes west, that ain't on here.
It's on the map to your right.
Over there, okay.
Let's see,
You get it.
right here.
Is that your blacktop?
This is our 50 right here.
Okay, then, right here, just right here, I can't see it, but that's where it
Yeah, open ditch.
is. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, you were
For
doing that.
2,000 feet of parallels, you have no road ditch.
Okay,
So there's been a petition signed because the ditch is like the one-to-one slope or less. And we cleaned up to that property. And because of the, now we should know what are we gonna do? Who wants to come out and look at all the sloughings? Do we re-slope it to a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 slope? Or do we get the county with cost share on a big tile to go up there and push the ditch in?
So
you cleaned it and it's left in after you?
No, it hasn't been redug yet.
Okay.
They're gonna wait till spring because it's cold.
But you anticipate that?
Well,
because
what do you do? Do you rip wrap the whole dang thing?
we have several that are spot rip wrapped, you know, and we just fix them.
Or do we pull it to a 3-to-1 slope? I mean, this ditch is probably too deep.
Yeah, well, if it's up next to the road,
In spots.
we wouldn't have any opportunity to do that.
Or do you put it, to be done with it, put in a 24-inch pipe and fill it with it? And call it
I don't, that's all the bigger it need be.
Yeah, the county's.
Or maybe pay half of it. Would you do that?
Not the
Consider it?
county wouldn't have any interest in that.
The
Just the
road
district.
department wouldn't have anything to do.
Not really.
I've seen that happen before on different places.
I would say that was a district.
It never hurts to ask
Yeah,
Probably 5, 6, 7, 8.
on the upper end. Yeah, that's good.
you have to have an engineer size the tile and then
Yep.
bury it in there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well then it's, I know that map would not do anything.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right, that's,
I mean, you've got guys throughout the county that are closing some of the ditches.
yeah, it's not the worst thing for one that's right next to the road. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so it never hurts to ask.
Yeah. I'd say if the district were interested in doing that, be on them. I can't see where the road department would participate in that kind
And
of
that's
thing.
all I love to do.
You know, unless the road became, you know, unmaintainable.
Yeah.
You know, if it was just, we couldn't keep it stacked up.
You would have to protect the road.
Sure,
I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about the slough offs like what we had.
right.
You know, I mean, that one there was bad enough that if a guy got far enough over with his truck,
Mm.
he'd have been in.
Yeah, you know, those are usually the cases, like that's a box culvert right there, so, you know, you couldn't just bury tile in it, but if this is pretty low flow, maybe that would be an option. I don't know, I mean, it's not like we're spending thousands of dollars there every year trying to keep that road open to offset the cost.
So one day, Chris, you'll have to go up to the left of you to tell us how you want this. Well, is that your district, Sue, or?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get you and you can tell us what to do.
We can get that drone if you want.
We got it going.
Not a drone.
Mm-hmm.
We
There
do.
you go.
Yeah, you do?
From their messy California there.
Then we don't have to go right out to it.
So is it only those 4 pipes that
Yeah,
in that?
we have, 2 that go under the road. Like 4 and then including service pipes.
Surface pipes. And
14 inch on it, 15 inch on the side, south of the 11 inch.
Okay, so we'll
We'll meet on that too.
we'll meet on that too. Okay. Contact Chris can let me know what's going on. All right, anything else for open forum? Oh,
Or under number 6.
thanks, guys.
The Grover form, the payroll from last week is there. And then there's a couple of things you need to sign there, so.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Cleared the room.
That one's drainage, take care of that.
Goodbye.
So, you, I'm sure the Peterson machine would be good for this.
We can invite him next week. All right, so this is last week's that we whatever. We signed it last week, but we didn't see it.
Yeah.
We approved it.
You approved
We didn't
it.
see it.
And then sign
I never saw, I never seen it.
Do I need to date this last week or this week?
Oh, last week, I suppose.
Anything else with stamp?
Yeah, stamp those this week. And then you can change it back.
This would be this week's.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary.
Because sometimes you need to pay a claim in between when you pay a claim. Then I have no idea.
Same schedule.
I think we just like to aggregate the stamp.
I figure a stamp can be the first statement. That's the rule of thumb.
Good to know whenever I get to do that stamping. I remember that. If I see a staple,
You missed one. No, the passing it.
Oh,
You stamped it, you just,
this is, yeah, this is the others. Oops. With the first ones.
those should be the last ones for you.
Chris sends out those monthly reports. There's always that one that's missing when you get something that's always 200% over budget. There's one. Which one is this?
there's always a couple that just kind of stand out.
Yeah, well, and that one's always that way. It seems like to me that there's just something that's,
It started the year off that way.
well, and it's been that way for years. There's miscellaneous something that's always 200 or some 300% over budget.
When you see it, call me and I'll explain it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's just
look
because
up.
it wasn't budgeted for at all, so it's,
It's a good question.
Is the PDF noted miscellaneous? Or is it under the?
It's too much. These files are- Look at it and think about what I'm going to talk to you about. So, you know, I've asked you before and you thought it was probably something.
Well, when you see it, you just call me as soon as you see it and then I'll,
All right.
here's what I do. I write it on the,
11 o'clock
whatever's
at night.
closest. This was my notes. It was on the paper plate. This is the closest piece of paper I have. I brought it to work with me today.
are you getting any closer on your house?
It's slow down. Electricians in there all this week, it's really different. But I should really be getting,
Supply chain doesn't do it there. Got my solar panels.
yeah, my materials are okay, it's just that everybody's so busy. And then different groups have had COVID, so plumbers had COVID, and then they're back, and electricians had COVID, and they're back.
make a motion to approve county claims.
The motion, second by Jenslow to approve the claims, all in favor say aye. All opposed, motion passed.
It's not on the apartment. It's negative 138.01%.
Let me see.
A negative percent? Does negative indicate
And
over
then the
budget?
other
or
one,
does
it's
that
got two.
indicate-
What, I don't know what I did. I touched something.
Who knows? I probably don't know what you did either. It comes under the one where it's got miscellaneous PDF with it,
Yeah.
and then non-departmental PDF.
Oh,
And then
the other
this
one.
one is the one that's,
So the total is,
the total of it all is negative 138. Did you want to see the top part of it? Was that it? or-
yeah. Because I need to see where we're so off.
And I've looked through it
How
before.
can you even see this?
Well, this old guy's got good eyes.
Good Lord of living.
I do have some pink reading glasses that I do use sometimes.
Well, I have two
I don't know where they came from.
32-inch screen monitors I read it on, so.
That's what
Yeah.
TJ has too, he loves that.
I don't use those. I just use this, my phone.
Do you really? My eyes would be batty if I used my phone for all that.
I couldn't do it either.
You need to mirror screen from your phone to your TV and just read it there.
No,
I
I've
use
done that
that.
before too. I have figured out how to hook my phone
Oh.
to my TV.
I know why. Because Flex is not a budgetary item.
Yeah.
So the money that comes out of Flex is not budgetary. So that negative amount,
Comes from that.
yeah.
Hey, is there a number that's that big in the negative in the middle of that? Seems like I can never remember finding one.
Yeah, for Flex, right there. Because
Alright,
we don't
so-
budget for Flex,
So you don't budget
So
for it, so
it's-
when it comes out of there,
it's a negative
it
amount.
makes it look negative.
Yep, so that's right there.
You solved that.
Yeah, I can put glasses back on.
Yes, you can. So is there a couple more things we need to touch base
We
with?
still got the auditor's report.
Oh, we do.
Yes.
We tabled that. Did you get it though?
Yeah, we're not gonna
We tabled it.
Till next week.
till next week.
Okay.
So, we need to talk about the WHW meeting that's supposed to be this Friday. We just,
Can we do it, meeting, or can you ask the auditor?
That'll probably need to be rescheduled again.
Actually, I had it, yeah, that's today. Yeah, today's 11, would have been Friday. I don't think I actually scheduled it, I just kind of bumped it a month just for the time being, so it's gonna have to be, we'll have to give notice to the other,
other counties,
yeah,
and who's responsible for that?
usually Sandy. But maybe I could probably do, well, you're the chair now, so can you
So can I
find
just,
one of those
can I
and
just
do a
call
reply
Sandy
all
and have
that?
her reschedule with her counties?
Are we gonna have to bump it to the end of the month? You think? Safely?
So we can just reply to that email.
Yeah.
Let's just reply to
If
that
she had
email.
everybody on there, let me look.
See if, can you look it up? Because I'd like to get that handled as soon as possible because it was scheduled for, kind of scheduled for this Friday.
Oh, no, it's just the three of us.
What
But there's
is-
another one that,
And are we gonna just pick a date or what are we gonna do?
Why don't you just cancel it until further notice?
we have until when to get the budget in.
for her.
Mhm.
I mean, she's already given me her budget, so I need to be done with the total budget by February 8th.
Can we do it the 1st of February or something? After the 1st of February?
If that,
Because you gotta approve something.
yeah,
Mhm. Well, we have to contact the other counties.
Right, but we have to, it'd be nice to know what to tell them.
Right.
So here's one, it was the end
I
of.
guess you could have a meeting at like the
Somewhere
community
else.
room at TSB or some, or NSB.
Somewhere else.
That's what she was asking.
Right. Whether that was just gonna be in somewhere else on Friday
I mean, I
or
guess you could do that.
might make everybody get on the same
But
page. So we
I was
don't-
kind of hoping to have all this wrapped up before we had that meeting, so we couldn't,
Well, yeah,
because they're gonna ask what's going on. I'd rather put the meeting back, so we don't have to.
yeah,
Well,
let's,
what is the latest that it can go back then? Let's just figure that out. For budget
After the
purposes.
1st of February, maybe?
Yeah.
Everybody will probably have more time after the 1st of February. So like, is it usually a Thursday? Friday. That's
What's
usually a
Friday?
Friday, I think.
It's
So
usually on
February 4th?
that doesn't give me much time if you make changes to that budget.
So when we do it, I'll be gone on the 28th.
Could we just do it on a Tuesday, could you do it on the February 1st?
Well, we have to have the others here too, so it's gonna be
Okay,
afternoon then, probably.
Worth and Hancock both have their meetings on Mondays, right?
Oh, so get them here at
So
11.
if we
Well, let's see,
have
we've already
them
got,
After our meeting,
has Assessor's Office set the conference board yet?
I don't know.
I haven't seen anything.
I'm guessing she's gonna be one of those Tuesdays
Mhm.
while we're here. Usually it's about the last Tuesday in January, so,
4th, you're thinking?
well, or we do it the 1st.
4th doesn't give me much time. If you make changes to what she has, it doesn't give me much time to change that.
So 1st is better, even though it's not great.
Yeah,
Hers is a small budget, so it changes everything else.
yeah, that's the problem, is
We would try to schedule it at 11 o'clock, or do you think is that a day we're gonna?
normally, unless there's some kind of a big budget item, but we don't have anything coming up, like public hearings or,
No.
that I can remember.
And we won't
anyway.
be ready for a public hearing for 92.
At today's meeting, we drug on, I mean, we normally are done by 11.
February 1.
Yeah, I think so.
I put it in my calendar already. Make
Can
that
you
work.
find the email from November 30th that Sandy sent out? And just respond to that?
I can, when I get back to my laptop.
Oh, you can't find it on here? Oh, yeah.
She doesn't have her email on her phone.
Not for the courthouse.
I suppose I could respond to it right now and just say, the chair from Winnebago County, Susan, would like to schedule a meeting for February 1st. at
You
11
have
o'clock.
my approval to do that. Then we'll have it handled at least. And we're saying at 11?
I don't even have an agenda for the 25th yet, so. Or for the 1st, so. Are we adjourned?
Are we?
So that's up to you, you have to call it.
Well, have you, that's just doing that, okay.
Get that resolved.
We're
Top
adjourned.
dog,
We're
big cheese,
adjourned.
head honcho.
It's official.